Welcome, everyone. My name is Shelly Thomas, and I'm going to sing a song for you that's an original song called Seaside. It'll be my new single that's not released yet. The theme for this morning is reverie, so I wanted to speak a moment. It's a fitting theme because when I think of reverie, I think of the sea or Neptune or Poseidon, dreams, memories, and this song, Seaside, has a lot of that dreamy quality of kind of thinking about what would happen if you made different choices in life, or how every choice leads us forward, and just thinking along those themes of fate and destiny versus free will, and dreams of what was, what is yet to be, what could have been, and what will never be. I hope you enjoy. takes me. Thank you so much, Shelly. Can we have one more round of applause for Shelly Thomas, please? You can find Shelly at shellythomasmusic.com, and her Venmo is Shelly Thomas at. This is all going to be in the follow-up email. We love to tip our musicians, and we love to be here. Hello. Hi. Good to see everyone. What's up?
Hi everyone, my name is Annie, and I'm the marketing manager at CreativeMornings HQ.
And I'm Exa, and I'm the head of field trips at HQ. And we're on the New York team, and
welcome to New York is Creative!
Woo!
Woo! It is so good to be back here. It feels like a full circle moment for us because last year, when we returned to indoor events, we opened it up with New York is Creative. And it's so nice to come home to the Invisible Dog. The Invisible Dog is located in Brooklyn, New York, which is on the unceded lands of the Lenape people. We want to recognize the significance of New York City for Lenape people, past and present. The Invisible Dog is also our creative home. Creative Mornings HQ operates right upstairs. And we just want to thank Lucien, the owner of the Invisible Dog, for creating a space for artistic flourishing. As you can see on the screen, even letting us host a fire escape concert 2 days ago where Exa performed. There are many more events in this space. They're hosting the Fad Market for creative small businesses this weekend, and so we hope to see you there.
Yeah, if you like looking around amazing craft markets, I will be there. They host them frequently, and tomorrow's gonna be awesome. It's this whole weekend. Yeah, we'll see you there.
We also want to give a big woo to the people joining us on the live stream.
We are so happy to have our live stream friends. This morning is our friend Kyle's very last time monitoring the live stream. This is his last event. So can we get some heart emojis in the chat and some love for Kyle over here? We love Kyle so much. This is Kyle and Ginger at their best. Ginger is his dog. If you don't know Ginger, I mean, she's a celeb, so y'all probably know. New York is Creative is rooted in the belief that every single person is creative. That is what Creative Mornings is about. We believe that creativity is something that is embedded in what it means to be human, whether you are a parent, whether you are learning to drive, every single thing, you don't have to just be painting, is creative.
And we think that it's fitting that it's paired with a theme that Shelly shared with you this morning, which is Reverie, chosen by Creative Mornings Omaha and illustrated by Eduardo Guardia. We're here not just to see your finished masterpieces, but also to follow you along for your daydreams and your curiosities.
So we had over 500 people registered for this event. We only had opportunities for about 23 people to present. Given that we know that every single person is creative, we want to give y'all an opportunity to hear a little bit about each other's creative practices, creative processes. We're gonna light up this room with a little bit of chatter. So we're gonna invite you to turn to your neighbor. This segment is brought to you by our incredible friends at Harvest. I'll tell you about them in a second. We're wondering, I don't know if you can see this on the screen, what are you creating in your life right now? So we're gonna ask you to turn to your neighbor. You'll have 2 minutes. We'll put a timer on the screen. If you are like, oh my gosh, I don't know, I'm so behind, remember that, okay. Okay, sometimes you can't wait for the people, go ahead.
Let's just set a timer.
Yeah.
Wow. They didn't, yeah.
Let's do 1 minute.
Let's not do it. great.
We're almost done, and then it runs itself.
Yeah.
This community is ready to talk.
Yeah, they were like, shut up.
You have 33 seconds. 33 seconds.
I turned off my mic, so can I click into it?
Okay, we'll do a slow clap. Ready? Slow clap.
All right, y'all, slow clap.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, that was awesome. Thank you, Harvest, for giving us our time trackers for today. Harvest is a New York-based company. They are our favorite time tracking software. They are responsible for all things time at Creative Mornings. If you had breakfast or coffee today, can we get a little shout out to Harvest and thank them? Awesome. So we're pretty sure that, I mean, that room just lit up. That was amazing. Y'all were like ready to go. If anyone wants to just shout out, like if you heard anything that inspired you, maybe like a word or a phrase. Does anyone? Yeah. What was that? Graphic novel creator. Anything else? What other things? Creating space. Open water swim instructor. One more. Can we have one more? What was that? Sleep. Absolutely. So we don't have enough time to hear all of the incredible things that y'all are doing right now. I love everything that we just heard. Sleep is indeed a creative act. I do it every day. As y'all may know, we have a new partnership with Microsoft Teams. We are doing an experiment where we can connect our community beyond these events themselves. We're really going to encourage you, anything you just shared with someone, whether it was sleep or open water swim instructor or something that you're doing. We have an opportunity for y'all to share that on Teams. There are QR codes scattered throughout the room, and you can also, oh, there's one back there. Angelica's holding it. Angelica, show that QR code, and we'll put one on the screen in a second. Taylor is doing like a personal ad. We've got invites to sci-fi art mixers and people sharing about their courses. All of our presenters are going to be sharing their information on Teams after the event, so if you're wondering how to get in contact with them, that's how you're going to do it. And we want all of y'all to post on there as well. So any whim you have, that's your opportunity. This is the QR code. I don't know if y'all will be able to get it, but it will be in the slide. I see some phones coming up. That's great. That's great. We love that. Annie.
So, speaking of finding each other, who here heard about this event from the newsletter? Raise your hands.
New York newsletter.
I just want to shout out Angelica in the back. Angelica, raise your hand. Angelica writes the New York City newsletter, and she also flew all the way from Santa Barbara for this event. So, woo, Angelica.
Yes, Angelica.
I also write the weekly highlights newsletter. Alexa writes the field trips newsletter. And for Angelica and all of our organizers around the world, our newsletters are a labor of love. And so whether or not we're getting together online on Zoom for field trips or in person for these kinds of gatherings, we just want to thank MailChimp for being our engine of gathering. This is the way that we get together.
So, round of applause for MailChimp. Thank you.
All right. Now we get to ground in the reason for why we gather. So every month we honor a special member of our community by asking them to read the manifesto. And as we mentioned, this is Kyle's last week as part of Creative Mornings HQ. He has been the longest tenured member on this team, apart from Tina, and he has been part of us for 7.5 years. Before that, he was the host of Creative Mornings Toronto, and this week he steps down as Chief Community Officer. And so no one has left a bigger imprint and has helped to shape Creative Mornings the way it is. So, to Kyle.
Kyle Baptista.
Thank you. I'm not going to try and say the memorized version, which I was practicing a few minutes ago. Well, thank you. My sister's here, everyone, so that's probably her. Everyone is creative. A creative life requires bravery and action, honesty and hard work. We are here to support you, to celebrate with you and encourage you to make the things you love. We believe in the power of community. We believe in giving a damn. We believe in face-to-face connections and learning from others, in hugs and high fives. We bring together people who are driven by passion and purpose, confident that they will inspire one another and inspire change in neighborhoods and cities all around the world. Can we say this one all together? Yes. Everyone is welcome. Don't forget that.
We love you, Kyle. One more round of applause for Kyle. Thank you. Will you hold my? We're gonna do a little slide switching now before we introduce. Well, actually, yeah, you introduce. I'll do slide switching. Yeah. Great.
All right, and now to the main part of our show. Why you're all here is to see our 20-something amazing presenters take the stage. We are doing a little bit of a switcheroo in the back, but just to let you know some of the ground rules today. First off. We have some really exciting projects for you to see. I think you'll be really inspired. The second thing I want you to know is that in order to make sure that there's enough time for all 23 of our presenters to just hold your applause until the end, but that is why you made these magical signs. So when you see something that you want to cheer on, make sure to hold them up so that the brave people up here know that they are loved.
On field trips, we like to do a thing called screen confetti. So if you want to do some jazz hands for confetti, that is also an opportunity. These are an incredible group of humans. We are so excited to have them. We are going to be really strict on time, as Annie said. So if we happen to sneak up on them, we're not interrupting them to be mean. We just want to make sure that everyone can get there. So, are we ready? Can we first get a little stretch so that everyone, including our presenters, just like a little good morning stretch? Woo! Okay, now that our hands in the air, can we do a little cheer for we're gonna do a cheer before and a cheer after. Here's our first cheer. Let's go to our presenters! Woo! Okay, our first presenter. May we have you line up? We have Lenny. Can we get our presenters to line up 3 at a time? You know your numbers. If we have any technical difficulties, y'all, just run with us. The Wi-Fi's being weird today. That's okay. We're gonna be great. Lenny, please take the stage.
Oh, wait. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're right. That was great. Good cheering. Good job. Okay, go ahead.
Do I just start?
Yeah.
Can someone do it for me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you hit play?
Kyle's gonna guess us out. We got it. We just got in front of it.
It's like a 5-second video.
I know.
I'm in front of the thing. I'm just gonna start. Okay, well, if you can imagine what that sounded like, that is the sound of nostalgia hitting every single Asian child growing up here, like me included. I grew up watching my parents and my grandparents play Mahjong because I wasn't old enough to play. But as I've grown older, I've kind of really appreciated and loved Mahjong as a game. I play it all the time with my grandma when I go home because it is a way, she has Alzheimer's, so it's a way to help keep her wit sharp and for me to keep connecting with her, right? And as I've grown, I've really loved what Mahjong is and what it is right now. I've seen it kind of popping off right now in I guess the the social sphere. So what I've been doing, I want to tell you all about, I've been teaching private mahjong lessons at some restaurants nearby here in Prospect Heights. I'm having a lot of fun with it, having like 4 to 8 people come by. We have some food, we have some drinks, and I teach them all about the mahjong and all about how there's different types of it, whether it's from Hong Kong, which is where I learned how to the style that I learned how to play. There's Taiwanese, there's Shanghainese, there's Jewish mahjong, which I think is awesome. And I've created sort of like these little handy guides for people to learn like what mahjong is and how to explain what it is to people. I luckily somehow got spotlighted on New York 1 for these mahjong classes, so it was a ton of fun, and I am really, really excited about just like sharing this love of like my culture and the things that I learned growing up with people. So that's it. This is my love letter to mahjong. I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna do this if I have a little bit of time. I'd love to take a selfie with this because I am freaking out and I think this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I love it.
Hi everyone, I'm Millie. I'm half of the Mad Scary podcast, and I'm standing in front of the projector. The Mad Scary podcast is a project that I started with my high school best friend Rena, who is not here, and she has been a long-time collaborator of mine. We've been writing things since high school, took a break for 20 years, and now we're back at it. So, so we decided in March that we were at a place in a space in our lives where we wanted to start creating again. We had tried to collaborate with other people and realized that no, this was where it's at. So we decided to do a podcast, which is like super novel. Nobody does that. And we we both sort of blurted out horror movie podcast. And over the course of the 3 months that we've been putting it together, it's evolved and continues to evolve. And what we've decided is every month we're going to watch a movie, and then ChatGPT, generative AI is going to give us another movie. We are going to watch those movies in order to pick up on tropes and then write our own screenplay for a horror movie. So it's very exciting, and I hope that you give it a listen. With all that being said, I would want to say that if you have a good collaborator, hold on to them tight or reach out to them again, because you never know. 3 months later, you might have a whole project. And the scariest part is always starting. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, so you're right. We will cheer. We'll cheer them off, and the same person on at the same, and the new person on at the same time. So cheering, and then we'll go.
What's up, Brooklyn? Don't take the brown acid. All right, my name is Danielle McGurran. I'm City Folk Studio. I make miniatures. That's pronounced miniature, not miniature. And sort of imagine my work as model train people and dollhouse people getting into a knife fight in a dive bar by the docks. That's pretty much what I do. I have been an artist my whole life, but never really kind of identified as one. And I think it was because I was looking for the perfect moment, the perfect setup, the perfect pen, the perfect paper, the perfect combination of things, of lighting, of whatever. And guess what, guys? There isn't one. It just doesn't exist. You just gotta fucking do it. That's just what you gotta do. I lived in a 180 square foot apartment. 180 square foot apartment in Manhattan for 16 years, and I never made a thing. I bought art supplies, I stuffed them under my bed, and I never did a goddamn thing, and I really just got really into reading blogs about soap operas. It was ugly. And then I met my wife. She is a dream, beautiful person. She changed my life. She gave me the permission to create. I built a little desk in the corner of our tiny apartment on 81st Street. I started making things. I got an Instagram. I got people interested. I got some commissions. I started living. I started rocking. Then we moved to a nicer apartment, and now I make all my shit in a closet. And I'm here to tell you, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect thing. Just make.
Thank you. Who's next? Who's our next friend? Thank you. Devin, are you here? Amazing. Devin is here. Round of applause. That's great. 1 minute and 30.
Hi, I'm Devin. I'm a life coach and experience designer, And I'm a big believer in imagination as a fun and healing resource. And I am on a quest to collect as many personal growth imagination games as I can so I can create a grand theory of how to best design and deploy these self-growth games. So a personal growth imagination game is a thought experiment or a game or activity that allows you to try on a new possibility in your life. So here's some examples. This one is a group game. Somewhere in the world, there's someone who actually hosts a dinner party where everyone who arrives is asked to complete the prompt. Something I work hard to not be is blank. Let's say you wrote down lazy. Then for the rest of the dinner, you have to interact with everyone else as the most lazy version of yourself. At the end of the dinner, everyone goes around and compliments one another on how they showed up, mining these shadow selves for unexpected gifts. Here's another thought experiment from the book Fail Fast, Fail Often. Imagine your eccentric great uncle has left you $100 million with some peculiar stipulations. He was an inventor of this tool called the fun meter that tracks how much enjoyment someone experiences over time. If you manage to score a 7 out of 10 on the fun meter every day, then yeah. Anyway, if that's the end, email me if you have any ideas of imagination games you play. Connect me to people who like this kind of stuff. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Oscar. Probably all of you saw the new campaign for the We Love New York. When it came out, a lot of people reached out to me. I got probably 20 messages. And I was like, Oscar, you should do something different, change it, do something with your typography. And I was just like, I don't really know. I mean, it's already out there. But I took what was that? Oh.
That's okay. You're doing great. That's okay.
Too big on here. It's like, right? So I took some time at night one day, and I took 4 hours, and I was like, let me make this lockup. And it finally worked, and it took me back because I think that the original logo had so much character. And what New York is known about is about making stuff that's not cool, and we make it cool, like typefaces, certain things that don't, like graffiti and stuff. Some other places it wouldn't work, but and so I chose a typeface that many bodegas use, which is Windsor. And I put it together, and after a little bit, I was like, let me show people how I see New York. Like Chinatown, like fashion, like shoes, like street, cement. I don't know, but I think New York is just more than just a big heart. I think the word love could be spelled in any font, and it would just mean the same thing. We're not very modern and clean, we're just raw and honest, and I think I wanted to show that. But yeah, cool.
Am I blocking it? Hi, I'm Alex. I'm obsessed with celebrity and fame, and I don't know. In grad school, I did my dissertation on Kim Kardashian. My advisor did not know who she was, but joke's on her because she's big. I'm fascinated by the fact that people have always been famous to an extent, like people have cared about political leaders, their gods, goddesses, but this famous for being famous is relatively new and tied to social media, and I love it. Something that's super interesting to me is, in some studies, 1/4 of Gen Z dreams of being an influencer or a content creator as their dream job, instead of, when we were kids, maybe an astronaut or an actor or something. But what's wild to me is that it seems awful to be famous, genuinely terrible. As I think many of you might have noticed, especially for women, people of color, non-binary people, fans and followers are brutal, and they love someone who's on the rise, but if they get too high, like Icarus, they tear them down. As you can see, they love Khloe Kardashian when her boyfriend's cheating on her and she's losing weight, but someone like Anne Hathaway who's just thriving, they're not loving. Or Gwyneth, unfairly maligned, I would say. But I'm working on a novel about 2 model sisters who are struggling, and their mother convinces them to be on a reality show to resuscitate their careers, and how terrible it is. But yeah, thanks.
Okay, can you guys do an experiment with me? Can you keep a beat? Okay, so just stomp your foot and clap. Stomp, clap. Good, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about, I've been doing work in Malawi, Africa, meeting some amazing creative women that have grown themselves through collective businesses out of extreme poverty and hunger. And there was a hurricane, and so if you're interested in helping, coming, supporting, come on. But really, I thought about it. We just came from New Mexico, and the skies are vast, and I wanted to bring you a message from the stars. Oh, you are love. Oh, you are love. Now join me. It's real simple. Oh, you are love. Now close your eyes. Tell the one inside. You are love. Now turn to each other. Look. Oh, you are love. Oh, you are love. It's beautiful. You did a great job. If you're interested in doing more song, pouring more love out there, contact me. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm an art director in the tech space. And when I heard about this event, I was like, oh, I wish I had something creative to share. And then I realized that I've been drawing these floral sketches for a really long time. And I thought, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something. So for me, these florals are a way to connect to a lot of female ancestors and relatives who wore bright floral prints or were avid gardeners who knew the name of every plant that they came across, or who were these incredible watercolor artists. And all of them had this really deep connection to nature that I was always envious of. So for me, I don't know if you all know what blind contour drawings are, but I basically start, but you're all nodding, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. So basically, I'm looking at the flowers, and I'm looking at the leaves and the stems and the buds, and I'm drawing them, not looking at the paper until it's completely done. And so it's a really great surprise for me to see what's been created, and it's also a really good way to disconnect from screens, as I know we're all always looking for something like that. So thank you for having me. I've actually never put these together before, and now I'm like, ooh, they've grown into a whole body of work. Look at that. Thank you, thanks so much.
Hey everybody, my name is Nelson. I'm a portrait photographer based in Williamsburg, also taking photos for Creative Mornings. And my project is a daily photography project. I've been using this as a glorified webcam for the last 2 years, and I figured I should try and rekindle my love for photography. So that is my project right now. I'm uploading a photo every single day. I'm not taking a photo every single day, but I'm walking every single week to a new location, new neighborhood, new event, bird watching in Central Park, the dance parade, the AAPI parade, and the Cherry Blossoms of Brooklyn Botanical, to name a few. If you're interested in joining me for a photo walk, please feel free to reach out. My Instagram is right up there. And if you have a location or a new neighborhood or an event that you want to send my way, feel free to reach out. And this is day 174. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, that's me. Oh, I'm going too far. I timed this last night, so if I talk really fast, I can say everything. All right. Hi, my name's Alex. It's my project, Cooper Collective. Here to talk about the design of a young concept that is like this post went up yesterday. Every foodie has an answer to the question, what do you wish existed? Cooper Collective is my outlet for workshopping those ideas. The collective is aspirational. Right now, it's just me. My friend Noah helped me with the branding. After several consultations, came up with this handy logo series. Jeff works awesome. The hands represent how hands-on the ideation is and the care that goes into each product. each product is an obsession for someone. Everyone has an obsession. This is what these are. My own obsession is a brand of oatmeals. It's a whole food oatmeal that only provides full instant oat breakfast, but also provides a perfect balance of calories. And here's how I designed it. It's a wholesome product, so it has to be wholesome for the planet. A paper exterior is the touch and feel of paper, but the inside is a compostable, heat-sealable ecoplastic. The product is a perfect solution to many complex problems I don't have the time to discuss here. But it's also a very simple solution, which is why there's as much empty space in the package as possible. As for the colors, you can't really see much here, but it's a peachy clay tone, leaning into like the natural feel and the natural solution and natural goodness. Thank you all so much.
Hi everyone. My name is Samantha Andrews, and this is my project, Soft Practice. So I want to first start with what brought me here. 2020 was a difficult year for me, as I'm sure it was for everyone here. 2021 I spent in therapy. I started to reconnect with the parts of myself that I'd forgotten, namely my inner artist. 2022, I moved here to Brooklyn all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I started taking a printmaking class. These are some of the prints that I've made. Through printmaking, I've learned to surrender control, enjoy the process, and celebrate happy accidents. So the Soft Practice newsletter and YouTube channel are where I share my journey. It's very DIY. I don't have any special camera. I use my phone. But I just like to kind of talk about all the things that I'm learning as a new artist. Soft Practice is a new orientation toward creativity and art making for me. It's how I'm recovering from burnout and perfectionism, and how I'm learning to slow down, play the long game, follow my curiosity, and an invitation to make art in service of my moods and desires. So, my intention for today is just to share with you that there are lots of ways to make art, and if you can introduce any softness and gentleness into your practice, I highly recommend it. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, that's loud. I'm born and raised here in Queens and Long Island, but I live in Honolulu now. Over there, I work for a mobile wireless provider called Mobi, and Mobi's a sponsor of CreativeMornings Honolulu. So similarly to this event, we start every event with a local artist performing, and then we have a local artist talk about whatever the theme is. For example, we had Hula, Kumu, or Teacher speak on the movement of theme of movement, and that was Vicky Hotakamine. So last month was Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, or AANHPI. So Mobi and Creative Mornings Honolulu had the idea to turn one of our Mobi stores into a makeshift gallery. So at our April event, we had 3 of the artists kind of agree on the spot that they wanted to show their work. So we have over here, you can't really see it, but Rumi Murakami, who's a slow fashion designer, Manny Aloha, who's a surf poet, Sylvia Lee over there, who's a tattoo artist, along with them, Kalei Rahar, who's a collage artist, Phoenix Tran, who's a photographer, and Somalia Puapuaga, who's a painter. And on top of that, we had local record store and label show their records at the store. We recreated their record store in our store. The event was really great because it was such a great representation of what a melting pot Hawaii is. Each of them had a unique voice, but they had a through line of the culture in Hawaii and respecting the land and culture over there. And I wanted to bring it to New York. Thank you.
I'm not ready yet. Oh, I was going to speak first. Oh, you're going to speak? Yes, I'll tell you what. Sorry. So at Creative Morning in April, Ivy Ross and Susan Maximin talked about how dance is one of the best ways to exercise creativity. I started taking dance classes 2 years ago because I got very into K-pop very quickly. There was something about how everyone was doing the same movements at the same time that made me really feel connected. But I'd always loved to make up dances in my living room. Anyone out there the same? When I was a kid. So a year ago, I decided to take a song that I had on repeat and choreograph it. I asked 2 of my friends if they wanted to do it with me, and so I taught it to them. So here's just a quick clip. I'm just going to do 20 seconds. It's not exactly synced up, but you get the idea. That's okay. This choreography initially came from improvisation. I played the song on loop and just did what my body wanted to do. I didn't know this at the time, but most choreographers create that way. So because I came up with the choreo by myself, I didn't know how it would be when I brought my 2 friends. So we had to make some changes, and that collaboration is something I really cherish, the ability to create something and then recreate it. So I take a lot of dance classes, and I also teach at the absolute beginner level, but there's really nothing like creating something myself and just seeing how that song shows up in my body. And no one needs to be a great dancer to do this. You can literally go home, press Spotify, put a song on loop, and just do that yourself. So thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eiko. I'm Hiroshima-born, a New York-based artist. I make site-specific and person-specific art. My theme is language, perception, and being present. This is one of my lifelong projects. It's called Finger Food Art. I started in Tokyo in 2008. Now I need your help. I'm looking for collaborators. This is how I make. Whenever I newly meet non-Japanese people, what kind of finger food makes you feel nostalgic about family, or the friends, hometown, or home country? The people shared beautiful stories with me, not only the food, but also the conversation with the grandma in the kitchen, or night market at the first date. I take a picture that the hands, they pretend holding the foods, and then I draw, and then I put the recipe in their mother tongue, and I color that design in the region or country flag. So I made over 30 works so far, but I wanted to expand more. So if you wanted to be a hand model or ambassador, the finger food from your hometown, please come and find me, and then let's collaborate. Thank you so much.
Hi, I've never used one of these. Hi, I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Hereabout. I'm an architect. I have notes. I forget what I'm doing right now. I design thoughtful, sustainable, and joy-infused home plans.
Hi, I am Kate. I am delightfully unhinged and invasively peppy. I am the owner of K Smith X, which is a construction consulting and design firm, and I am a general contractor.
And Kate and I met on the internet sometime recently in the past year-ish. We met over the love of the same blanket. As we became friends, we knew we wanted to do a collaboration, and so we did, and we made it amazing, and we made it big, and we really wanted to focus on the intimacy of home throughout our collaboration. So over the past few months, we worked together on creating a super fun giveaway, but more importantly, a really fun and beautiful and fantastic home design.
Thank you for your smiles. So in this collaboration, not only with each other, we thought, like, how can we go big? What can we do? And so we just jokingly, when Holly was like, let's just make a house and give it away. And I was like, okay, great, sign me up. And then it was, how do we, collaborate with others? Who do we love? And so we just did our moonshot and started asking other makers and brands that we really loved that had the same design ethos that we did. And we were like, hey, do you want to do this? And then we both fell out of our chairs and said, fuck, when they said yes. So we kind of both fell over and made this beautiful thing together, and we're just so excited to share it.
Yeah. And moral of the story is just go big, nothing is precious. have fun.
Hey, good morning. I'm Jill Greenbaum, a visual story catcher and advocate of the Death Positive movement. I have a question for you. Would you be open to having a conversation about your current health, your work, and planning for your someday, one day death? Maybe 2 out of 3? To quote a colleague of mine, Jan Booth, starting a deep exploration of dying and death on our deathbed is unlikely. I believe planning for our dying and death is one of the most important elements of our lives. What would you like the story of your life and your death to be? What is your plan? What are your values about living and dying? Where do you want to be in your final weeks? Who will be with you? What would you like to be in your environment? What music, scents, and visuals will be in the space? What are your wishes for your life celebration, funeral, or memorial? Have you thought about the disposition of your body after death? I ask these questions, I listen for answers, and create drawings that become living documents for deep, rich, and vitally important conversations. And they can be the place to have those good conversations with family and friends. Up above, I've shared one of my examples. You can ask these questions of yourself. You don't need me to do it. And yet, what I hope for you is that you'll explore the wealth of resources that exist about creating the end-of-life experience that you desire for yourself and your loved ones. It's a journey that can prepare you and will increase the appreciation of your life every day. Thank you.
Good morning, New York. I took the wrong direction of the train this morning. Of course. I'm a designer, a creative director, just like 50 other creative directors in the room this morning. I'm also a cancer survivor. You can't compete with that. We hate that term, cancer, right? Cancer canceled all my social existence. After spending 2 years dragging my family, traveling the world, looking for a cure, really getting busy saving my life, I came out from the other side. Meanwhile, employers told me, your best years now behind you because you have a gap on your resume. I got pissed, I started to fight back. Not for me, for everybody. Everybody who has a career gap on their resume. I started this nonprofit called notentirelydead.org to help cancer survivors to fight gaps, stigma, and bias. I love you too. People thought I was weak after cancer. I ran marathons. People thought this work was not research. I became commencement speaker at University of Washington. People thought this nonprofit was a dream, not a thing. Fast Company named it a world-changing idea this year. I love you, New York. My name's Ethan. I'm not entirely dead.
Hi, everyone. Yes. Can we just take a moment to just embrace like all the amazing projects that we're seeing? Yes. So I totally forgot what I was going to talk about, but so my name is Steven. My project is not really about something that's designed out or a video, but really it's about building and creating a community. And so all my many years in advertising, and then also seeing people that weren't like myself, not a lot of queer, BIPOC folks, and also seeing all the social movements over the past few years that are really imperative to just the greater good of our world. I think I just sat with myself and I was like, what do we need to do about it? So ended up creating a space called QT BIPOC Design that basically embraces, empowers, and uplifts our queer BIPOC communities. And so over the past few years, we've done a bunch of cool events, online, physical, and we've also serviced thousands of queer BIPOC folks from all around the world. And so if you want to follow our adventure, be a part of it, follow us. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Douglas, and in the fall of 2007, I sat alone on a hilltop in upstate New York, and I wept. I was at a supremely difficult moment in my life, and all I could think was, who can help me? Who can help me? And in the middle of this steady drumbeat of despair, I took a breath, and in that breath, the words seemed to rearrange themselves. Who can help me became, how can I help? Within a few weeks, I opened up my Prospect Heights brownstone once a month to anyone wishing to sit in silence with me for an hour, after which I fed whoever showed up with a simple vegetarian meal. I told myself whoever walked through my unlocked front door to those gatherings is exactly who was meant to be there, and whether that number was 3 or 15, that was exactly right. In 2009, Malidoma Some, an elder from Burkina Faso, looked across a table at me and told me, you must make yourself into a cottage, a garden of plants, basically a kind of eclectic, generative entity that has something to share with anyone regardless of their situation. And even though I'd grown up in Tokyo and had made my adult home in New York City for years and years, this idea had a strange and beautiful meaning for me. So in addition to the meditation evenings, I added pop-up art shows, storytelling evenings, cooking classes, and workshops of all kinds, all on a budget of $0. I called it the Brooklyn Cottage. It became a kind of community lab and incubator, and I, a kind of urban farmer of the heart. Done. Okay, we're back.
Good morning. My name is Annika. I run a design company called Dirty Bandits, and this is a project that I started a couple years ago with my best friend Samantha Schutz. She wrote a memoir. Sorry, the whole thing makes me cry. I have a really hard time talking about my own project. She wrote a memoir about her struggles with anxiety disorder, and it was so moving as someone that had been there during the years that she was struggling. I didn't understand it until I read her book. So she started receiving letters from young people saying, your book made me feel less alone. Sorry. And I wanted to help. I wanted to support her. I wanted to help spread the message. So I started painting murals in 2019, and I reached out to every artist that I knew that did lettering, that painted walls, and I said, do you want to be a part of this? 70 murals have now gone up around the world. We have many in New York. We've started doing interviews with artists where they share their own struggles with mental health, whether it's their own personal struggles or their support for someone else. So I encourage you to check out our Instagram. You can see the videos. If you have a wall, if you were an artist and you want to create public art in your community with this message, we would love to have you.
Hi, my name is Christina, and I wanted to tell you about the relationship between bilingualism and creativity. I'm a psycholinguist, which means that I basically research what goes on in people's minds when they are processing language. You've probably experienced this at some point. You're talking to someone, and you know what they are going to say. This is called prediction, and our brains are constantly trying to do it. I compare how bilinguals and monolinguals do it. In Spanish, we have words like papa and papa. Papa means potato, papa means that they are distinguishable by the stress. So I use eye tracking, which is this fancy camera right here, to see whether people are looking at a word before they actually hear it. They are making a prediction. And what we find is that monolinguals are constantly trying to use these cues to make predictions, but bilinguals don't do it. So what does this mean? It means that bilinguals look at the world in a different way. And also, that bilinguals have a lot more connections in their minds. And this is why, in linking to other research, when we test their creativity scores, they score way higher. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Katrin. I'm a professional designer, and in my free time, I'm a professional nerd. which means that what I do for fun is create a data experience. And what you see in the background is an installation called A Matter of Air, which visualizes air pollution over the 5 boroughs. And what me and my team, Aaron, Julie, and Aurélie, wanted to do is to create a space where we're surrounded by tiny particles, but instead of dust, they're loaded with data. And the installation consists of 42 LED strings, and each string is a neighborhood, for example, Bed-Stuy, and each LED shows a data point. So the LED on the bottom is red, it means that the air quality was really bad, and if the one on top is blue, it means it has improved over the last 10 years. And then we cycle through different data sets like attributable asthma attacks or heart attacks that are caused by air pollution. And what we saw in there is that just because you're in a neighborhood that has bad air quality, that doesn't mean that you suffer the health impacts. For example, Midtown had worse air pollution than the South Bronx, but somehow most of the health issues are found in the poor neighborhoods. And this is the power of data visualization, which means it gives you a beautiful experience that also makes you really mad. If you want to know more about this, find me after. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Pride! Hello, my dolls. My name is Joanne Spataro, and I am the founder and chief baker of Doll Cakes. Doll Cakes is something I made just to delight my 3-year-old. I went on Etsy, and we all know what happens when we get on Etsy. And I all of a sudden was making mini dolls. The dolls are plastic. Yes, you can eat all the cake. And for this Pride season, I curated a specific little group. I've got little Princess Pride, she's rainbow. There is Patricia, but don't call her Patty, only her mother does. And then there is Red Velvet Rodney, and oh my God, what a diva. He kept melting during this photo shoot. It was very... He went from twink to Liberace. I had to give him more frosting. That's Red Velvet Rodney. I met a real Red Velvet Rodney this weekend, actually, when I made 40 of these cakes in San Diego for a bat mitzvah. So anyway, I want to tell you, any dream is possible, even if you want to make mini cakes. I'm going to be decorating these cakes with kids this weekend on Saturday, and my message is of diversity. We're going to have a diverse array of dolls. My dream is to have every kind of doll out there, every kind of lovely doll. So follow me on Lucas Joanne to see more about Red Velvet Rodney. And you can also reach me on dollcakes.com. Happy Pride, thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. We have one more presenter. She is absolutely the most stylish member of Creative Mornings New York. I just have to say it. So for our very last presenter, let's go.
And I am here to put you to sleep. Yes, I am. You can add 5 years to your life by making sure you get enough sleep. Sleep is when the brain does important work, building brain, gray matter, and self-image. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I'm a children's author. I'm working on a series of bedtime books for Black babies. And the idea is that when you write books for Black children, that it's not enough to give pretty pictures, you have to give content. And so the book contains positive self-esteem and also information about SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Black babies are 2 times more likely to die from SIDS. And the idea of loving yourself and appreciating yourself is something I learned growing up in segregated Harlem in the 1950s. So for today, I'd like to give you a positive self-esteem message to put yourself to bed tonight. I am healthy, I am loved, I lay this body down to peaceful, restful sleep, reverie. Thank you.
OMG. Wow, y'all. Can we get a huge round of applause? That was nuts. For these friends over here. Yes. Oh my goodness. I wish I was taking sketch notes of that. I feel like every single presenter not only made it perfectly in time, which has never happened, thank you, but also had this
beautiful nuggets of wisdom. So I'm gonna we gotta rewatch it. It's gonna be great. Annie's gonna tell you a couple thank yous before we let you go.
All right, first off, thanks to Connie and Nelson for making sure that we look great on both video and photos. Also, just give it up for Nelson for both presenting and photographing at this event today. I want to thank our volunteers, Melanie, Maria, Megan, Joe, Leah, Kelly, Daniel, Ella, and Evelyn. Woo! Without them, this is not possible.
We don't have a slide for them, but I also want to thank our incredible HQ team. We have our event producer, Krista, back there. She's amazing. Obviously, you came here probably to see Tina as well. She's hiding right there. Thank you, Tina, for trusting us with this experience.
And then, of course, a big thanks to our Livestream team for making sure that even if you're not in New York, you can still be with us today. To Matthew, and of course, and a special thanks to Kyle.
We love you.
All right. And be sure to join us for our next month's event. We have Catherine Burns, who's the artistic director of The Moth, coming to New Lab on July 28th, so please don't miss it.
Tina likes to end with a quote. Annie and I like to end with a dance party. So will you cue the music? Did you get my text? They're gonna cue us some music. Let's turn it up. Who's ready for a dance party? Woo! 3, maybe 2, maybe. Before we do a dance party, one more round of applause for our amazing friends. That was nuts. Be sure to find them on the Microsoft Teams app. The QR code's over there. It will also be in the follow-up email. We're waiting on the music. You can just start standing up and chatting, and we'll dance when we're ready. Here we go.